34-year-old man is behind bars for fatally stabbing his elderly parents. At around 11 a.m. on Thursday, the 2nd of November, authorities responded to a residence along Lincoln Avenue in Barnegat, New Jersey on reports of a disturbance. As officers approached the residence, they noticed a man walking away. Upon their arrival, they found bloodstains on the front door and blood in various areas throughout the home. As officers entered the bedroom, they discovered the bodies of 2 deceased victims with stab wounds to their chests and observed a knife nearby. The victims were later identified as 71-year-old Eugene Mulgrew and 69-year-old Cheryl Mulgrew. During the investigation, authorities identified the couple's son Michael Mulgrew, who lived with his parents, as a suspect. Police spotted him walking about a mile away in the area of West Bay Boulevard and Gunning River Road, and he was taken into custody. He's charged with murder, criminal possession of a weapon for unlawful purpose, and unlawful possession of a weapon. He's held at the Ocean County Jail without bond. The motive of the attack is unclear, as the investigation into the matter continues. 22-year-old Chelsea Nicole Lampkin is behind bars for fatally shooting 56-year-old Terence Heath Fawkes. At 12:31 a.m. on Monday the 30th of October, authorities responded to the 700 block of 3rd Avenue Southeast in Decatur, Alabama on reports of a shooting. A nearby neighbour who lives along 4th Avenue Southeast made a 911 call after hearing a single gunshot and a woman crying in the backyard of a home across the alley. When first responders arrived, they found Chelsea crying over the body of Terence in the backyard. A 9mm handgun was found between the man's legs and a 12-gauge shotgun beside his torso on the ground. A 9mm casing was also found near his body and a single gunshot entrance wound behind his right ear, and he was bleeding profusely with no signs of life. Medics transported Terence to the Decatur Morgan Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The Morgan County coroner collected small clear bags of cocaine and marijuana from Terence's clothing. During an interview with Chelsea, she said that she and Terence used drugs that made them paranoid. She continued by stating that Terence constantly believes people were trespassing his property, and she and Terence would frequently discharge firearms into the air from the backyard to scare off any would-be trespassers. Chelsea said that she carried the handgun, and that Terence carried the shotgun into the backyard because he thought someone was trespassing. She admitted to shooting the handgun into the air a few feet from Terence, while he shot the shotgun at the same time. She claimed that Terence fell to the ground immediately after, and was adamant that she did not shoot him. Chelsea was arrested and charged with manslaughter, and she's held at the Morgan County Jail on a $100,000 bond. Chelsea has previously been arrested on drug-related charges. Her most recent charge was trafficking meth in Lawrence County in April of 2022, when Chelsea stuffed 69 grams of meth inside a bra. Terence also has a criminal history. On the 27th of December 2020, a Decatur resident filed a report with the Decatur Police Department for a home repair fraud. Terence was arrested after receiving funds from a resident in Morgan County to repair a plumbing issue while operating under the guise of a licensed and insured plumber. Authorities said he did not have an active business license and was not a licensed plumber by Alabama state law. He received $340 for purchasing materials for the job and to fix the plumbing issue. Terence did not finish the repair, and after causing extensive damage to the residence, he didn't return to finish the job or provide any materials. This wasn't the first time he was arrested for a home repair fraud. In 2018, he was convicted in Lauderdale County for the same thing. A 31-year-old man has been convicted on multiple charges after beating and assaulting a 60-year-old woman and putting a body inside a plastic storage container, which the victim survived. On Tuesday, the 31st of October 2023, Delonte Edmund Geiger pleaded guilty to charges of felony assault, kidnapping, tampering with evidence, and having weapons under disability. In early May 2023, Delonte picked up the victim and drove her to his house at 3177 West 97th Street in Cleveland, Ohio. When they got to his residence, he physically assaulted her, stabbed her in the arm, zip-tied her hands and tortured her. At around 3:30 p.m. on the 2nd of May, authorities responded to Delonte's home to conduct a welfare check after they were tipped off by a concerned woman at a nearby corner store, stating that Delonte showed her photos of a woman tied up in the basement. Responding officers encountered Delonte at his residence. After a 30-minute delay, he allowed officers to search his basement, where they only found an air mattress but no victim. It was during this initial visit that Delonte moved the victim from room to room, to prevent police from finding her, and the officers left the premises. Later that evening, police spoke with a woman familiar with the area who claimed that she knew that Delonte had assaulted a woman and was holding her captive in the basement of his residence. She told police that Delonte even showed her photos of the assault and claimed the victim was a snitch, providing investigators with additional evidence of potential criminal activity. In the early hours of the 3rd of May, police returned to the residence and spoke to Delonte again. While inside the living room, officers heard moaning sounds from an unknown location. Each time the moaning occurred, Delonte amplified the volume of the radio playing on his phone. Suspicions grew, prompting officers to question Delonte further. Eventually, Delonte confessed that a woman was beneath the porch. Officers found the victim stuffed and folded into a tiny 3-foot by 3-foot plastic container. Her body was motionless with the lid sealed, but she was still alive. She was transported to a hospital with severe injuries, including multiple fractures to the back of her skull and a broken back and spine which left her paralyzed. She was in a coma for several days following her hospitalization. Cleveland County Prosecutor Michael O'Malley said, "I've seen a lot of truly terrible cases over the years, and this one is one of the most horrific I've seen." Delonte will be sentenced on the 29th of November, and he faces up to 25 years in prison.